If Ms Frizzle from the Magic School Bus existed in real life, she wouldn't be teaching at public school anymore. Been born to an upper middle class family. They probably would have lived in a brownstone and they would not have accepted that they were rich. But even young Ms Frizzle was like, I call shenanigans, there's gotta be more to life than this. So what does a rich kid from New York do to reject the status quo and all the demands placed upon her? She heads to Oberlin for her undergrad, learning and labor, where she decides the only way to unindoctrinate society is STEM education at an early age, but to make it fun. So she develops the Magic School Bus method, and she lines up all the chairs in a row and all the kids pretend to go through a Magic School Bus ride. Her method starts getting published in these journals of pedagogy as being an amazing and creative way to engage children in STEM activities. Even as she's getting all these awards on a national level, the school board doesn't care. Keep penalizing and fining her for violating the school dress code. One day, while trying to teach them about the light spectrum, she wears this dress. Arnold snaps a photo of the dress with the phone that he's not supposed to have at school, shows it to his mom, and Karen Perlstein goes and complains to the board. The ever so slightly neurospicy Ms Frizzle is torn because on one hand she wants to explain that when you pass light through a prism, the light diffracts and causes a rainbow, and she was trying to show that rain acts as a prism. But her strong black and white innate sense of morality will not let her just cop out because she does believe in LGBT rights. So she has to hire lawyers just so that she can finish out the school year. And the school district, realizing that they have a discrimination suit on their hands, gives her a severance payment that is very clearly just hush money. With that money, Ms Frizzle buys herself a piece of land in a state that doesn't have a whole ton of nanny laws, and becomes a huge proponent of secular unschooling. And she launches a nature-based school program, educating kids age 4 to 10 in science through nature-based programs. This program is wildly successful, and she charges an outrageous amount of tuition for her students, because every tuition sponsors 2 students, the student you're sending and 1 need-based scholarship. But for all that she's teaching a STEM-based education, the numbers don't actually add up, because instead of being 50% scholarships, as you might think, 75% of the students are there on need-based scholarships. And they love her and they learn science. But the Magic School Bus concept doesn't work with these programs because she doesn't want to stress a fossil fuel-based vehicle in a nature setting. But she goes back to school to get a degree in psychotropics and the use of psychedelics in emotional healing and trauma response therapy. And she revives the Magic School Bus concept as a group therapy for PTSD. And one of the first adults to try out her program is, of course, Arnold, because it turns out that both Arnold and his mother Karen were victims of physical abuse at home. And that's why he was constantly acting out. At the end of the retreat, he breaks down crying, thanking her for all of her help throughout the years.